Hey guys, welcome to Commander Lounge. Yes, this is a familiar guy, familiar Goblin. We got Krenko Mob Boss. You guys might know him from my video deck tech of Goblins were made to be broken. This is a little different. I felt like I really wanted to play with him again because Krenko, Krenko's the reason why I started playing Commander. I saw this spoiled for M13, and I absolutely fell in love with the card. I loved the speediness. I loved goblins. At that time I was trying to push goblin standard and stuff, and just it's just a card that revolved around my interest in the game. So yeah, if you guys saw the video, the original deck was really broken and it was kind of mean with ruination and blood moon effects. It really did penalize the people for playing multiple colors and getting greedy in mana. So, and you guys saw that there were so many ways to go infinite, in that deck. And with this, I try to make it more of a tribal strategy because I'm going to start making a bunch of tribal decks and put them on here. So we're starting out with Goblin Tribal. So if you guys don't know who Krenko is, he is 4 mana cost. He's 2 red, 2 colors for a 3/3. And you can tap him to put X1/1 red goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is the number of goblins you control. He's just very fast. This deck's all about just, Goblin Tribal, getting goblins out as quick as possible and just smashing face for as much as possible. I mean, I do still have some infinite combos in here, but I mainly kept it with Goblin synergies. I didn't use, I'm not using like Thornbite Staff for, any of the mean kind of, well, not mean, but any of the artifacts that can just make Krenko go out of hand with a goblin and a sack outlet. So yeah, let's get into it. Our backup is Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker. And of course we do have the combo. We took out the Zealous Conscript because he's not a goblin, but we did keep Lightning Crafter and Kiki-Jiki because I think that's, even though it's like, it's not even really a 2-card combo because you still need the sack outlet to make it work. But yeah, I mean, it's more of a 3-card combo, but I think it's fine with it being just like the flavor of goblins. I feel like, and it's like an alternate win condition. If you can't, if like somebody, there's a bunch of what is it called, propaganda effects or ghostly prisons out there. You can't get in and attacking. Well, this is the way around that. So yeah, that's why we run these guys and just keep it Goblin Tribal. So now we're getting to our lands, utility lands. We got Reliquary Tower. We're drawing a lot of cards and also party draw. Gotta have it. Then we have Strip Mine. Get rid of any rude lands out there. Tectonic Edge does the same thing. Buried Ruin, we do run a lot of artifacts, whether it's making Krenko do his ability a couple times, or just pretty much anything that this color is missing. Artifacts are usually helping that, so getting back, being like a regrowth on a land is pretty good for artifacts. And we run Ancient Tomb. We don't run Temple of the False God because we can't really afford to run something that's slow, because we know one Wrath will kind of set us real far back with playing goblins. So what we do is we run Ancient Tomb to try to get out as quick as possible. We don't mind losing the life for 40. Cavern of Souls, Holy Jesus is an expensive card now. I used to have 3 of them. I got rid of 2 of them when they were like 40. When this is, I think it's still 40 right now. So I still kept 1 for my gobos. Probably should have kept all of them since I'm doing these tribal lists now, but whatever. So yeah, got 1 Cavern of Souls, just keep my goblins from being countered. And we got Wooded Footy. Got some of our fetch lands. Bloodstained Maw. Fetch it up. And Great Furnace, which combos real well with Goblin Welder. And then I believe we run 27 Mountains. And these are where all my goblins live under. They live under this rock. So don't judge them. It's a sweet rock. Alright. Oh, almost there. There you go. Okay, so now we go into our ramp package, which we have Soul Ring. Gotta have it. Mana Vault, gotta have it. Turn 2 Krenkos are pretty good. Wayfarer's Bauble. The whole reason why I say Bauble is because of this card. I saw it a lot in the past and just felt like wanting to end my videos saying Bauble. So this is the reason why I say Bauble. And we have our Armillary Sphere. It's just nice. Even though it doesn't ramp you, it really kind of thins out your deck. It brings the lands to your hand. I really like these in monocolored decks that aren't playing green. Then we run Ruby Medallion because red spells costing 1 less is awesome. Ashnod's Altar. Yeah, you're kind of thinking, yeah, it's a little broken. Like it's really good. You know, I'm not running Phyrexian Altar because that can go infinite with Krenko and like Haste and stuff. I'm running this just because it synergizes so well with my tokens. You know, it's just you can cast your big things or cast multiple things with Ashnod's Altar, so that's why we have that. Burnished Heart is just such an amazing card. If you're not playing green, this should be in your deck. It's amazing. It's 3 mana for a 2/2, 3 sack it, search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them in the battlefield tap. That's a lot of gas. And you can wait, of course, in mono red, I'm not going to be really late. I mean, unless it's late game, I'm not going to be putting it right out and sacking it. I'm mostly going to pay 3 and then next turn 3 and sack it. Solemn Simulacrum, just a nice way to get land. And we have Gilded Lotus. Once we do get high up there, like later game, it's nice just to be able to pay 5 and then be able to play something right away that costs only 3 mana. They have Gauntlet of Power. I think this is fine, letting everybody of that color get it, because, you know, generally not many people are playing red. Usually you see a lot of green, a lot of blues. You know, you see a lot of green and blue kinds of decks. You don't really see too many red decks. So I'm fine with, even if they are, you know, that's fine. And then we go, and this is also another way of getting mana. This card is ridiculously broken. This is, you can combo off with just Krenko by itself and a bunch of, you know, Krenko, I think it's 6 or 7 other goblins and a haste producer, and you can just sack Krenko. You know, if you have this out, you can just sack, like, make a bunch of goblins, sack him, sack a couple more goblins so you can play it again, and just keep on casting it over and over again from your command zone to make infinite goblins. Like, this is another way to go infinite in this deck, but I couldn't take Skirk Prospector out of my tribal list because it's such a, even though it's a broken card, it's Goblin Tribal, it's a goblin, and I need to have it in here. And I don't really like winning that way. If I can't attack, I will win out that way. Even though it's tough, I say that now, but usually if I can take the win, I take the win, even if it's infinite, because I don't feel like being like, oh, well, you know, I could have killed you guys, you know, but I didn't, because I was going to be nice. But, you know, I think that's stupid. If you can kill somebody, you kill somebody, you know. You just take the kill. Don't, you know. That's what I think on the matter. So we're going to the card drawing now. We have Skull Clamp, which is absolutely ridiculous in this deck with all the little 1/1 goblins. 1 mana, 1 equip. Equip creature gets +1/-1. Whenever equip creature dies, draw 2 cards. That's another Butters. It's really good. We have Crystal Ball, Budget Sensei's Divining Top. Sweet card. We have Wheel of Fortune, just because, you know, with all the little goblins, we're going to dump our hands real quick. So we're going to have to refill them. This is a good way how to. Sensation Gorger is kind of like a mini wheel. It only goes to 4 whenever you kinship. Whenever you find a goblin or a shaman on top of your library, everybody discards their hand and draws only 4 cards, which this can keep some of those blue players in check by making their hands go down from, you know, if they have like 11 card hand, taking it down to 4 cards so they can't answer everything, and it keeps us aggressive. So I think it's a great card. Then we have Goblin Ringleader, perfect combo with Goblin Recruiter. You know, Goblin Recruiter, this, if you have enough mana, if you have the 4th mana, you put this on top of your library so you can get everything else, and every other goblin you stacked on top of it into your hand the next turn. So yeah, it's a great card. We have Slate of Ancestry. This used to be my Prosh deck, but I took it out because I didn't like that. You know, I was sacking a lot of creatures before being able to use this. So I think it could get used better in this deck, but you gotta watch out there because you do make a ton of goblins. You don't want to mill yourself out. So yeah, draws you a ton of cards. Reforge the Soul is just a little bit more expensive, or a little bit cheaper if you get extremely lucky. Wheel of Fortune. And we have Goblin Recruiter, another one of the most broken goblins in this deck. There's a reason why it's banned in Legacy. It's ridiculous. It is just being able to stack the top of your deck with any goblin you want. It ensures you that you will probably win the game if nobody answers you. You know, you just pretty much stack your combo on top of there when you play him, or try to, you know, just get it as aggressive as you want. Usually I stack it towards being really aggressive, but also my combo is going to be in there too, because if they stop my aggression, I'm going to want to combo out instead. Goblin Matron, you know, just tutor up for any goblin you need. Don't really like tutors, but hey, it's Goblin Tribal. Tutoring up goblins fun. Mod Catcher, another tutor. This one's broken. Um, this will end the game in pretty much 3 turns, maybe even less if you already got one piece set up. Because you pretty much just go grab a Goblin with a sack outlet, then go grab Lightning Crafter, then go grab, whatchamacallit, Kiki Jiki. And if you have one of those things that make you do the tap ability multiple times, like you'll see the artifact abilities that let you do it multiple times, you can win in quicker turns, quick amount of turns. Oh, Vandal Blast. Yes, I did use this on I did overload this when somebody played out a Mycosynth Lattice, the one that turns every permanent into artifacts, and that was hilarious, just blowing up absolutely everything with this card. Then we go Tuk Tuk Scrapper, just another way to destroy artifacts. Chaos Warp, even though we can't tuck legendaries anymore, it's really important to have a way to answer enchantments, because we have no other way of answering enchantments in this deck besides this. So that's why Chaos Warp's in here. Sparksmith is just a way to remove creature, but be careful, because, you know, make sure you don't have too many goblins or else you will kill yourself with this card. But that's the fun part about goblins, is cards like these, so that's why they're in here. Gunpalm Incinerator, just a nice way to remove target creature from the game. It's just high damage for a cycle. Arms Dealer, just another way to get rid of creatures. And we have our Haste producers, which we have all creatures have Haste, Mass Hysteria, which you will benefit mostly from this. I had this bite me in the butt the last time I played, though. Yeah, but whatever, it happens. Hammer Porphyros, it doesn't really matter that you can sacrifice a land to put a 3/3 golem. It's just creatures you control have Haste. I mean, this could be relevant in some ways, but whatever. We're just mainly there to make everything. It's mainly there to make everything have Haste. And we got Fervor that does the same thing. Creatures you control have Haste. Then we have Goblin Chieftain. You know, other Goblin creatures have 1/1 and have Haste, so it makes everybody hasty and it pumps them up. And he's also hasty, so why not? Goblin War Chief is amazing because it makes goblins cost 1 less, and it also makes them have Haste, which is very important. Ogre Battle Driver can be its own win condition. Just being able to give everything +2/+0 and Haste when they come into the battlefield is ridiculous with Krenko. So yeah, that's why it's in here. Goblin Trojan, sacrifice a goblin to regenerate a target creature. You know, just sacrificing your tokens to whenever somebody wraths, that is, and you know, the creatures can't regenerate wraths. You can get rid of your tokens and save some of your real goblins. Then we have ways of protecting Krenko. We got Lightning Greaves, it's really good. Swiftfoot Boots, nice way to protect them. And Darksteel Plate, give them indestructible. And we have Eldrazi Monument that not only protects your Krenko, but it protects all your goblins and everything. And usually it's at the price of every upkeep of destroying one of your 1/1 tokens. So that's a great this is a great card. This is usually a game ender when this comes out. Then we have ways of making Krenko go multiple times. Mage Right Stone is 2 colorless for an artifact that you can pay 1 and tap it, and untap target creature with an activated ability with tap in it, its cost. So yeah, you can use this, pay 1, untap Krenko, get two uses out of him. So it's not infinite, it's just 2 uses. Same thing with Illusionist Bracers, 2 and then 3 equip. And when he taps to do his ability, you may copy that ability. So you can not only put double golems out, but then you put double the double out. Double, double, double. 1,000-Year Elixir. It makes Krenko's activated ability act like it has Haste. I can bring it out and just use it right away. And I can also pay 1 to untap him and do it again. So yeah, it's really good. Rings of the Bright Hearth is really, really broken. It was a card that I was actually thinking about not putting in here, but because I don't have mana echoes, it makes sense. Like, yeah, that's fine. This can be in here. It's still gonna do work. And then we have some more goblins. We got Goblin Lackey to get out the goblins earlier. You can actually go real crazy with getting out Kiki Jiki and Lightning Crafter early. You can do it real early with Goblin Lackey, and you can do it real early with Warren Instigator too. Getting double triggers off of it, having double strike early game is insane. It's really good. I have Goblin Wizard, 2 red, 2 colorless for a 1/1, and you can tap it, take a goblin from your hand, and put it into play. And you can also make a target goblin gain protection from white until end of turn, so that could be relevant. But yeah, it just puts out more goblins early. And we have more Mog War Marshal, which is just bringing out some tokens. Beetleback Chief, bringing out more tokens. Ib, Half-Heart, Goblin Tactician is just a funny one. I just like that you can sacrifice 2 mountains to put out 2/1/1 red goblins. Like, that could be really relevant near the end to just make sure Krenko taps to make a ton. Just sacrifice all your mountains and just go all in there. But you can also make your goblins turn into like flame slashes when they get blocked. Which, be careful, make sure this is dead when you Eldrazi Monument it up so you don't because you have to sacrifice it. It's not a may. If it gets blocked, you have to sacrifice it. So, just make sure to play around that. Siege Gang Commander, not only is it tokens, but it also can be removal by sacrificing a goblin, so it's pretty sweet. Goblin Lookout is another way you can kind of end the game by sacrificing one of your little dinkers to give all of your other goblins +2/+0 until end of turn. It's a great card. Goblin General, just because it's Goblin General, even though it's not fantastic, it has to attack, then it gives all your goblins +1/+1. It's not that strong of a card, but I just like that it's, there's like ranks of goblins in this deck, and you got Goblin King, Goblin General, Goblin Tactician, you gotta have the General in there. So that's why he's in here. And there's Goblin King, speaking of the devil. He gives everybody +1/+1, not only that, but also if you're facing another person playing red, he gives all goblins Mountain Walk, so they are unblockable then. We have Goblin Sledder, which is just another way to make do your infinite combos easier with Kijiki, Lightning Crafter, or Krenko and stuff. It's just another sack outlet. And we have Goblin Sharpshooter. If Propaganda or like Ghostly Prison's out and you can't attack, well, if you can make infinite goblins or make a ton of goblins, well, just even if you have a sack outlet, just sack them one at a time and let Goblin Sharpshooter get in there while that's happening. And then we have Goblin Welder, which is just bring back an important artifact that you guys just destroyed by, replacing it with an artifact you control. And we have Goblin Bombardment, which is a sack outlet for infinite combos, can get rid of creatures, can end the game. It is your toolbox card in this deck. It is amazing. And then we have Impact Tremors. When I first saw this card spoiled, I almost thought, okay, let's build Krenko back again. Let's do a Goblin Tribal with Krenko. So I'm happy I can finally put this in. It's not exactly Perforce God of the Forge. It only does 1 damage to each opponent, but that doesn't matter when you're making almost infinite, goblins. When you're making a ton of goblins. So yeah, that's why it's in here. Perforce God of the Forge, there you go. 2 damage to everything. And you can pump all your creatures. I always forget that I can do that. I mainly just use it just to spit out a whole bunch of people. Shared Animosity is better than Coat of Arms in this deck. Whenever creature you control attacks, it gets 1/0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. It's just fantastic. It's a great card. And then we have Coat of Arms, because you have to have Coat of Arms if you're playing Tribal. And last but not least, we have Skirk Fire Marshal, which is a funny one. It's 2 red, 3 colorless for a 2/2, protection from red. And you can tap 5 untap goblins you control. Skirk Fire Marshal deals 10 damage to each creature and each player. This card is funny because, you can win the game with it, but most of the time, you're going to be in a spot where you're just like, okay, since I'm not winning, none of you guys are winning. So you basically just kill everybody at the table, including yourself with this card, which is fun. So yeah, if you can't win the game, just kill yourself and kill everybody else. It's the Goblin way. So yeah, guys, this is my Krenko, trying to be more casual, Tribal Goblins deck. So let me know what you guys think of this deck. Let me know if it seems less broken. Let me know if you're just like, well, not much has changed. It's still really, really broken. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the deck. Like, favorite, and subscribe. You guys have a good day, and bobble bobble.